happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to see this one. So it looks like our friend Elon is back at it again. He's busted even more crooks for corruption within our federal government. In this newest update, guys, I'm excited to get into it. So we're going to jump straight into it. Just make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
And so that's exactly what Elon Musk's team did. DOGE recovered the data, and now we have our hands on more evidence of taxpayer dollars being funneled into very shady foreign entities. Some of which, in this case, are directly tied to terrorism. And this is very similar to the whistleblower account that we covered roughly a month ago during a US aid hearing, where a whistleblower testified under oath that federal agencies were funding terrorist-linked organizations and that they had passed regulation that essentially allowed them to do that without oversight or accountability.
Mr. Roman, are you aware that we are sending $40 million a week to the Taliban?
Yes, sir.
Can you name other instances of foreign aid going to terrorist organizations?
We have assisted al-Shabaab in Somalia. There's been instances of the Hamzi network in Sudan.
Wait. They're agreeing and admitting to that right there live on camera. Isn't this treason? A treasonous act? Is that not what I'm hearing right now? Sending aid to these terrorist organizations? Is that not? I'm gotta hop in the comments. Comments are open, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I'm trying to figure this one out. What did he just say?
Other instances of foreign aid going to terrorist organizations.
We have assisted al-Shabaab in Somalia. There's been instances of the Hamzi network in Sudan, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, Kataib al-Hezbollah, Hayat Tahrir al-Shams in Syria. Dozens of terror organizations have received indirect assistance from U.S. foreign aid. Let's use Gaza as our case study. $2.1 billion in American taxpayers' money to Gaza since October 7th when Hamas invaded southern Israel. USAID money was going in terms of an emergency use authorization to try to go to parties that USAID formerly had a relationship with in the Gaza Strip. They had to have been vetted by OFAC. They should have been vetted against the special designated terror list from the State Department and from other Treasury organizations. Waivers were granted because they said that there was an emergency use to have that money come in to Gaza, thereby jettisoning the usual typical screening procedures. As a result, 90% of aid that was going from the United States by way of its agents in Gaza ended up in Hamas-controlled areas.
Well, here we go again. More taxpayer dollars being funneled by these bureaucrats straight to the terrorist organizations that we're supposedly fighting. It's unfreaking believable. And look, I know that there could possibly be an explanation. There could be some sort of peacekeeping effort. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do in order to achieve specific results. You know, just think about hostage payments, for instance. But a big red flag that pops up in this case particularly is the fact that they panicked and scurried to delete all of this financial data. You know, if there's a legitimate reason as to why they were sending this money to these shady foreign organizations and individuals, then why delete it? If the payments were justified, then, I don't know, simply justify them. But instead, this is what we get. The Hillary Clinton approach. Delete it quick. And people wonder why we support the work that Elon Musk is doing. Well, very simply because it seems as though he's onto something, and we appreciate the transparency. I mean, what's the alternative approach? Simply buy into the brain rot narrative that Elon Musk is the enemy of the people, and we shouldn't ask any questions? Just allow these unelected bureaucrats to continue acting with absolutely no accountability, transparency, or oversight, and don't ask any questions on how your taxpayer dollars are spent because that's somehow akin to fascism? Give me a frickin' break. Something is going on here. Clearly, they're trying to hide something. There's a cover-up, not only in the fact that they are seemingly deleting files, but also in their slanderous attacks against Elon. They're clearly trying to stop him from getting his hands on all of this information. And that's concerning to say the least. They want you to believe that what Elon Musk is doing is dangerous, but his track record speaks for itself. Elon is simply the messenger. He's simply showing us what's happening behind the scenes, just like he did with the Twitter files. You know, at this point, they could say all they want to misrepresent the facts, but the facts speak for themselves. He's developed a track record. He's not stealing money from your grandmother's social security and putting it in his pocket. The guy's a billionaire, for Pete's sake, and he clearly has no interest in material things. His lifestyle speaks to that. Yet they tell you he's greedy. They tell you he's a shadowy oligarch trying to overtake American democracy, but the entire time, this guy's operating with transparency, just like he did when he exposed the corruption behind the Twitter files. And actually, speaking of the Twitter files, we might as well bring up this latest scandal as well. Not only do we have Elon Musk recovering deleted data, but we've also got the House Oversight Committee finding hidden internal FBI chat logs that again show just how deep the corruption goes. This is related. So in this thread over here, we got FBI chat logs that show that on the day of the Hunter Biden laptop story, the day that it dropped, the FBI told its agents to, quote, not discuss the Biden matter. And what's crazy is that they knew that the Hunter Biden laptop was real. The FBI knew that it was real before it dropped. But they imposed a gag order on their own analysts. And apparently there was a whistleblower at the time that tried to tell Twitter staff that it was real, but he got shut down. Quote, admonished. He was told to stay quiet. In other words, more proof that the FBI attempted to rig the 2020 election, as they coordinated with big tech to silence the story of the decade under the premise that it could have been hacked information or a Russian operation, even though they knew that the laptop was real. Folks,
I don't know, guys. I can't be the only person who's tired of all these uncoverings and, you know, this new evidence being exposed. I'm ready to see some actual accountability for these folks, some justice being served, because this is crazy. The stuff that we're seeing at this point, it makes no sense why people aren't being held accountable. We need to see some type of penalty or consequences being served and dished out for these corrupt individuals. This is crazy.
Information or a Russian operation, even though they knew that the laptop was real. Folks, this is exactly why transparency is important. This is exactly why DOGE matters. This is why Donald Trump brought Elon Musk in. And it's also why the Democrats and their corrupt lackeys are screaming about authoritarianism and the dangers of Elon Musk. Because they're getting exposed as being the ones undermining democracy, hiding the truth, and enriching themselves and apparently terrorist organizations abroad.
Right.
We're not just talking about financial waste anymore. We're talking about a regime that's funding terrorist organizations abroad while silencing Americans at home. From the IRS to the FBI, from USAID to USIP, these institutions have been totally compromised. They're not just bloated, they're not just wasteful, they've been corrupted.
Yo, there we have it, guys. That one coming from our friend Liberal Hive Mind. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below for those who want to go over there and check that entire thing out. Also, if you guys to go over there and show our friend Liberal Hive Mind tons of love and support. He's a great guy. Oh my goodness, guys. Just when they tried to give Elon the boot and say that he needs to step down from his position at the Department of Government Efficiency, he finds out that we've been not only funding all these crazy bizarre researches for different countries, but he's also found that we've been shipping money over to these terrorist organizations, and then they tried to delete the information on it. Oh my goodness, that's the icing on the cake. Hopefully you finally see some arrests starting to come, some charges, indictments, because they can't keep getting away with this, guys. Definitely up in the comment section. No, comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.